Hello, besties. Welcome to another thrilling story. This story is very interesting with many lessons to learn. Relax and enjoy yourself. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. They said her Ewedu soup could make a grown man weep with joy. Rich, silky, seasoned with secrets that made your tongue sing and your belly beg for more. From the first spoonful, people were enchanted, traveling from distant parts of Ife just to taste it. But how could one woman's soup taste so divine? Was it mere skill, or was something darker simmering beneath the surface? Her name was Omolara Adewale, the only child of wealthy parents in Ife. When they died in a mysterious fire, her father's brothers and their wives descended like vultures, stripping her of everything: the land, the houses, the businesses. They drove her out with nothing but the clothes on her back. "You're just a woman," Uncle Benga had sneered. "What do you know about managing property? Go find a husband to take care of you." For months, Omolara wandered from one part of Ife to another, doing menial jobs, washing clothes at the stream, sweeping compounds, anything to survive. She moved from Mayfair to Lajira, from Sebo to Elio, always hungry, always searching for a place to rest her head. Finally, she reached Irimo, a quiet neighborhood on the outskirts of ancient Ife. She had hoped to rent a small room, but the landlords were merciless. "No money, no room," they said. "Even dogs need somewhere to sleep, but they must pay for it." Exhausted and hopeless, Omolara walked toward the Opa River that evening. She only wanted to wash herself, to rinse away the dust of rejection before nightfall. As she approached the water, something caught her eye: a small house, quiet and abandoned, sitting right by the riverbank. "Who would leave a whole house here?" she whispered, stepping closer. The door creaked open. Inside, it was dusty but livable: a table, a bed, a small cooking area. Her eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, Olojime," she whispered. "Maybe this is my new beginning." That night, Omolara cleaned every corner of the house, lit a small lamp, and collapsed on the narrow bed. For the first time in months, she slept peacefully, until midnight came. A cold wind blew through the house though all windows were shut. Her lamp flickered violently, then died. "Child!" Omolara's eyes snapped open. Standing by her bed was a figure glowing with an otherworldly light, a woman, tall and magnificent, her skin shimmering like water under moonlight, her eyes deep as the river itself. "I am Yomoja, goddess of the Opa River. I have washed your suffering, your rejection, your tears." Omolara's heart pounded. What do you want from me?" "To bless you, child. To give you wealth, fame, power beyond imagination. This house will become a restaurant by morning. Outside, you'll find everything you need: ingredients, utensils, provisions. Your only task is to cook Ewedu soup and serve it to the people of Ife. You'll do this for me?" Omolara asked, her voice trembling. "Yes. But you must serve me in return. Make the soup irresistible. Add the special herbs I provide. As the people eat and grow strong, their life force will flow into my river. You will prosper as they wither. You will rise as they fall." Omolara thought of the relatives who had cast her out, the landlords who had mocked her, the villagers who had watched her suffer without helping. A cold smile spread across her face. "Yes. I accept. Let them come crawling to me. Let them pay for ignoring me when I needed help." Yomoja's eyes gleamed. "Good. Welcome to my service, daughter." And just like that, she vanished. Omolara woke to the scent of transformation. The rickety house had become a beautiful restaurant: polished floors, elegant tables, colorful curtains dancing in the breeze. The kitchen gleamed with new pots, fresh spices lined in neat rows, and outside stood a magnificent cooking station. But what truly amazed her were the provisions. Sacks of fresh Ewedu leaves, already washed and cleaned. Crates of assorted meat, goat, chicken, beef, bush meat, all fresh and ready. Containers of palm oil, locust beans, crayfish, pepper, and a mysterious black powder that smelled like river mud and midnight. She didn't question it. She simply began to cook. The Ewedu leaves went into the pot, blended to silky perfection. She added the palm oil, watching it shimmer. Then came the locust beans, crayfish, and the mysterious black powder. As she stirred, the soup began to glow faintly, steam rising like prayers to forgotten gods. When she placed it on the fire, the aroma spread through Irimo like wildfire. Two students from Ota University, walking past, stopped mid-conversation. What kind of smell be this? Ton asked, sniffing the air like a bloodhound. Ewedu soup, his friend Bola replied. But he be like say them add something special. My spirit they tell me say this soup go finish person. They followed their noses to the riverside restaurant. Inside, Omalara served them steaming bowls of Ewedu soup with pounded yam, accompanied by cold drinks that seemed to sparkle in the light. One spoonful, and their eyes rolled back. Oh my God! Ton exclaimed. This soup don't enter my soul. Madam, I beg, give me takeaway, Bola begged. My girlfriend must taste this thing. Word spread faster than Harmattan wind. By afternoon, the restaurant was full. By evening, people were queuing outside. Students, lecturers, market women, Okada riders, even traditionalists from the palace, everyone wanted Madam Soup's legendary Ewedu. She charged more than anyone else, but nobody complained. They paid, they devoured, they returned the next day. Within weeks, Omalara had built a mansion in the heart of Ife, bought a black Range Rover, and became the woman everyone wanted to know. Her restaurant, River of Flavors, became the most famous eating spot in Ife. Madam, what's your secret? People would ask. She would only smile. It's from the gods. They laughed, not knowing she was telling the truth. But as Omalara's wealth grew, something dark began happening in Ife. People started vanishing. First, a young girl fetching water at the river. Then two fishermen who never came home. A woman washing clothes. A couple who went for a walk. The disappearances multiplied, 10, then 20, then 30. Fear gripped Alife. Families locked their doors early. Parents kept their children close. But strangely, people still flocked to Madam Soup's restaurant. It was as if they couldn't help themselves, couldn't resist the pull of that enchanted Ewedu. The king of Ife, His Imperial Majesty Oba Adai Ogunwusi, called an emergency meeting of the traditional council at Ilujua, the sacred palace. Our people are disappearing, the king said gravely. This is no longer a mystery, it's a plague upon our land. We must act before Ife becomes a graveyard. The chiefs consulted the Ifo priest, the most powerful Babalawo from across Yorubaland. One by one, they came and delivered the same chilling message. The river goddess has awakened. She's feeding on human souls. Someone has made a covenant with her, and she's grown too powerful. We cannot stop her now. One elder, Chief Ajayi, stood up with a suggestion. Kobiyisi, there's a powerful pastor in Pastor Sunday. They say he cast out demons, healed the sick, even raised a dead child. Perhaps it's time we tried a different power. With no other options, the king agreed. Messengers were sent to bring Pastor Sunday. But in the depths of the Opo River, Umoja was watching. Surrounded by the missing villagers, now transformed into river spirits with glowing eyes and shimmering skin, she turned to her daughter, the beautiful river princess Ocean. A man of God is coming. We must stop him before he reaches Ife. That night, Yomoja appeared to Omalara again. It's time for your final service, the goddess commanded. Tomorrow, you will cook one last pot of soup. You will serve it free to everyone, rich, poor, young, old. And when they all eat, they will belong to me forever. Their souls will descend into my kingdom, and I will rule Ife from beneath the waters. Omolara hesitated for only a moment. And after that, I'm free. I can live with all my wealth. Yes. You will have everything, and no one will stop you. Then I'll do it with joy. By dawn, Pastor Sunday had arrived at the palace. Before anyone could speak, he declared, something terrible is about to happen. If we don't act now, Ife will be wiped off the map. Take me to the river immediately. Meanwhile, at the riverside, Omolara had set up a massive cooking station. The aroma of her final soup filled the air, drawing crowds from every corner of Ife. Just as she was about to serve the first bowl, the crowd parted. Pastor Sunday stormed through, his Bible held high. Stop, he thundered. Nobody touched that soup. It's cursed. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Omolara tried to maintain her composure. Pastor, what are you saying? I've been feeding Ife for months. Nobody has complained. You know exactly what I'm saying, servant of darkness. Confess now or face divine judgment. Pastor Sunday raised his Bible and began praying in powerful tongues. The ground trembled. Omolara fell to her knees, screaming. It's burning. The fire. I'll confess. I'll confess everything. Through tears and pain, she told them everything, how she'd made a covenant with Yemoja, how the soup was consecrated at the river altar, how each meal was stealing the life force of Ife's people. The crowd recoiled in horror. Some vomited on the spot. Suddenly, the sky darkened. Thick fog rolled in from the river. Yemoja emerged from the waters in all her terrifying glory, her tail glistening, her eyes blazing like underwater fires. Behind her stood the river princess and dozens of river spirits. You powerless mortal, the goddess hissed. Leave this place or drown in your own arrogance. But Pastor Sunday stood firm. No power is greater than the God I serve. Yemoja laughed cruelly. You dare challenge me in my own domain. Your foolishness will be your doom. The river spirits attacked with supernatural force. But the pastor raised his Bible high and shouted, Let God arise and let his enemies be scattered. Blinding light burst forth. The river spirits shrieked and vanished one by one. The river kingdom began to collapse. Only Yemoja remained, enraged and desperate. With one final strike, she attacked the pastor with all her power. He dropped to one knee, crying out in pain, but then, with fire in his eyes, he struck back with the word of God. Thunder rolled from the heavens. Lightning struck the river goddess directly. She screamed in agony and vanished in a burst of smoke and steam. The sky cleared. The river grew still. Peace returned to Ife. As Omolara wept and confessed, the pastor laid hands on her, casting out every dark spirit that had used her as a vessel. Even the purest souls can be corrupted by pain and greed, he said. But God's mercy is greater than any curse. Then he turned to the king and the assembled crowd. Let me tell you what your ancestors did 100 years ago. He revealed the dark history, how ancient Ife once sacrificed firstborn sons to the river goddess for prosperity. How a missionary had broken that covenant through prayer and fasting. How the goddess had sworn revenge and waited generations for the perfect opportunity. She returned through Omolara, the pastor explained. She fed on her pain and used her for revenge. But now we must ensure she never returns. The pastor ordered a full spiritual cleansing of Ife. Holy water blessed with prayers and salt was sprinkled throughout the city, from the palace to the markets, from the university to every neighborhood. Incense burned at every corner. The people fasted and prayed together. The king himself joined in the spiritual warfare, understanding that tradition and faith could work together against darkness. For 7 days, Ife underwent purification. The river was blessed. The land was cleansed. Peace was restored. As for Omolara, before the people could decide her fate, she disappeared from Ife. Some said she went to Lagos to start over. Others claimed she joined a monastery to atone for her sins. No one knows for certain. But her story became a warning told throughout Yorubaland. Greed and pain can open doors to destruction, but repentance, unity, and faith can shut them forever. We must never build prosperity on the suffering of others. We must never let the wounds of our past become weapons in the hands of evil. And we must remember that every soul deserves love, every tradition must be questioned, and no curse can stand where light dwells. And so, besties, that's the end of this thrilling story. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share and subscribe. See you in the next story.